What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna go over more in depth of how to find your manufacturer through Alibaba, Instagram, manufacturing list, whatever it is. I'm gonna show you how to get one easy for the best price. And I'm gonna show you how to properly communicate with your manufacturer so you're not spending too much money, you're getting the best quality, you're getting the best bang for your buck. So let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. So the first type of method that I went over in my first video that I'm gonna go more into depth right now is how to find a manufacturer on Instagram. So let's go to Instagram, right? And then let's head on over to the search bar, right? Now what we're gonna look up is either sports, right? If you look up sports, Pacific Coast Sportswear, most dependable supplier of sports uniforms. So that's how you can find a sportswear manufacturer. Sportswear manufacturer. You can find them by looking up sportswear. Now, if you want to look for a like a streetwear manufacturer, you can type in IND right here. We got one right here. Zen Industry, 173,000 followers, so they must be legit, right? Or you can look up Impex. A bunch will pop up again, right? The thing with these manufacturers though is there's so many scammers on here. I don't know about this one, but to me it looks like a scam, right? Because look, some ways to tell that it's a scam is no followers, no likes, no comments. Like they got one like on this post and it's from another manufacturer. So be careful when you're looking at this stuff because there's a lot of scammers on Instagram. Personally, I don't recommend you find your manufacturer on Instagram, but this is an easy way to do it. And if you find a good one on Instagram, then you're kind of set. Like they'll get you good prices, they'll get you right with everything. So that's one way you can find a manufacturer. Now the next way that we can find a manufacturer is head on over to Alibaba.com. And now let's say we are looking for, let's say I want to make flared sweatpants, okay? You want to make flared sweatpants, you head onto your profile, you sign in, right? You're gonna sign in. All right, now that you're signed in, you click on your profile, go down to RFQs, right? Now look, I put in a couple RFQs here because I want to see what, look, 5 quotes received, 10 quotes received, 2 quotes received, right? So now you click post an RFQ, right? Now let's say I want to make flared sweatpants, right? So I'm gonna enter flared sweat pants, right? It'll show up right here, right? Now you enter how many pieces you want. And the thing about Alibaba is there's so many manufacturers that regardless of how many pieces that you want, you're gonna find a manufacturer. So you can even put in 10 pieces, right? Put in 10 pieces and you put in details. You can say baggy fit, 100% cotton, acid wash, custom tags, custom bags, free sample, whatever you want to do, right? You can enter it all in here. Then you upload your mock-up or something, and then you click invite suppliers to quote, and then within the day, because most of these manufacturers are overseas, you'll get one in about during the nighttime if you live in the United States. So let's just click on this one, right? I'm trying to get some sportswear made. And I'm just gonna compare the prices that these people give to me, right? Now, it doesn't look like what I'm asking for, but that's just what they submit the quote with. So now let's say, to figure out if a manufacturer is legit or not on Alibaba, you can go onto their, just head on over to their profile Let's say I want to get this bag made, right? Now you can click on their information, Shihon Lila Technology, and right here you can see they're a verified custom manufacturer for 3 years, which means Alibaba trusts them enough to say that they're a good supplier, they're not going to scam you, and they're not going to do anything, right? And when you're working with Alibaba manufacturers, if they ask you to pay through a wire or something and you haven't worked with them for a long time, do not pay through a wire, pay through Alibaba. And if they're asking for that, then just honestly don't do business with them at all, because they might be trying to do something shady, because it's very easy to get your money back through Alibaba, because Alibaba will understand and they will try to get your money back. But if they're asking for bank wires, then it's impossible to get your money back, so don't try to do anything like that. Now the third way you can find a manufacturer, you can buy manufacturing lists. Personally, I wouldn't do that. Buying manufacturing lists when there's so many ways to get a manufacturer is just not something you should be doing. For example, for me, it took me so long to find a manufacturer, but I never wanted to buy a manufacturing list unless you've been scammed or something. That's when you might want to go get a manufacturing list. But I just gave you 2 perfect ways to go find a manufacturer, a good quality one, anything like that. So now what we're going to go over is different ways to communicate with your manufacturer, right? So the number one thing that you need for your manufacturer is your mock-up. So the mock-up, like I showed you guys earlier, you want to always submit a mock-up because that's how they know what you're trying to make, right? You can click on this, give them your mock-up, your design, or anything like that. Then you want to give them the details, right? So I'll just go into a Google Doc and I'll just show you guys some of the details that I make sure my manufacturers have before they begin production. So the first thing that you want to do, so the number one thing, we just went over it, mock-up. Mock-up is the number one thing that you need. Number 2 is the details on the mock-up. So if you want acid wash, make sure it's stated on there. If you want screen print, make sure it's stated on there. If you want anything like that, make sure it's stated on there. The next thing is fabric. Now, if you're working with China, they're gonna ask you if you want all different types of fabrics, and that's when it would really matter. But for Pakistan manufacturers, they're probably just gonna throw something on there. So unless you have a good relationship or a good manufacturer with your relationship, or a good relationship with your manufacturer, then they'll ask you, do you want terry? Do you want fleece? How thick do you want it? Then they'll start asking those questions. But yeah, make sure that your quality is always good, because you don't want customers saying that it's bad quality, because that's just gonna lose you a customer for life. So fabric is one thing that you really need. Next, you want to negotiate the price, right? These suppliers rely on you for business, so don't feel like they give you one price and you have to stick with it the whole time, right? Let's say, for example, this manufacturer wants $25 per hoodie, right? And you're like, all right, well, I will do that, but only at 23 per hoodie, right? Now they're gonna probably say, sorry, we can't do that, right? And they'll try to work it down to maybe $24.50 or $24. But if you negotiate with them correctly, there's no limit on what you can pull the price down to, because they want your business. Regardless of, they want your business, right? So if, obviously it has to be reasonable. You can't say I want $15, but if you say that, all right, then I'm just gonna go do work with somebody else, I guarantee you they'll at least pull down to $23.50 or $23. So always try to negotiate, because it might not seem like a lot, just $1 or $2, but once you start adding that up, let's say you get like 100 pieces and you're saving $2 per piece, you're saving $200 total on the bulk price, right? Then from there, you can pull your prices down just a little bit on your website, and you're able to sell more because you have cheaper prices, because you paid less for the product, which means your markups don't have to be so high, right? Now the next thing that you want to do is request free samples. for free samples, it all really matters with the manufacturer that you're working with. Personally, I don't work with manufacturers who charge for samples because there's two ways. Either they're gonna give you a free sample up front if you're already an established brand, but if you're not an established brand, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pay for the sample, and then you are going to ask for the deduction in the bulk order. So let's say if you paid $300 for a sample, right? And now they're charging you $1,200 for a bulk, right? And you already paid the $300 for the sample, and now they're asking you to pay $1,200 for the bulk. Say, well, I'm only gonna pay $900 because I already paid $300 for the sample. Because what's expensive is to get the one piece of fabric made, but once they get a bulk, it's much cheaper for them. So that's what you should really be doing. You should be asking for a discount that you paid for. You paid for $300, you should only be paying $900 for the bulk order. That's one way that you can get free samples. The next thing that you want to know is, just to make sure they're legit and everything, is call them and FaceTime them. So they can show you the factory, they can show you people are working, they can show you all of this stuff, right? So you're not getting scammed, you're not gonna get anything done, you're not gonna get scammed, you're not gonna get you just don't want to get scammed. That's like the most that's just money down the drain. So you want to take every precaution you can from getting scammed. Another way is just to look them up. Most of the legit manufacturers have websites on Safari, Google, or anything. Most of these Instagram manufacturers probably won't have a website, but there's still ways to tell. Yeah, if they're offering you extremely low prices from what the median is, then they're probably scamming you, or the quality won't be good. So please just be cautious of how you're proceeding with manufacturers, especially on Instagram, right? Now, moving on to the next thing that you want for your to take a step with your manufacturer is the payment plan. This is another way to prevent scammers from scamming you, because now you're paying, let's go back to this, right? You paid $300 for the sample, they agreed to $900 on the bulk, so you're paying $900 for the bulk, right? Now you're gonna pay $300 up front for them to begin, $300 when they show you the clothes, and then another $300 once they ship the clothes. So you can get the best quality. They can speed up the process, because I guarantee you they want that money really fast. So you can speed up the process, you can get money faster. It's just an all-around win-win for both sides. So you're not getting scammed, and they have incentive to work and put in the best quality. So that's something that you really should be paying attention to, is 300, 300, 300. So you either want to put it up into thirds or fifths. But yeah, that's really all I have for finding a manufacturer. All right, that about wraps up the video today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna be doing one every single week of just giving you guys free game on your clothing brand, how to get started, on all that. And I'm gonna also be doing some vlogs soon, some random stuff soon. So just stay tuned for all that. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.